It's Friday, and you know what that means. Time to go visit Miss Amie on her farm. Let's see what she has for us today.
Hi friends, it's Miss Amie with West Virginia University Extension Service Family Nutrition Program. Welcome to Learn, Grow, Eat, Go. Today's episode is all about Brussels sprouts. What category of my plate do you think Brussels sprouts go into? That's right, they go into the vegetable category. Brussels sprouts provide our bodies with dietary fiber, which we know helps us go to the bathroom regularly, vitamin C, which keeps our immune system healthy, but also vitamin K, which helps our blood clot. If you get a cut, you want it to be able to heal up. So let's take a look at Brussels sprouts. Some people say they're the tiny cabbages. They're very small, and they grow with their leaves kind of wrapping around themselves, similar to how cabbage does. On the outside, their leaves feel a little waxy, and they're very, very small. Let's cut one open and look inside. The inside of the Brussels sprout, the leaves look white. That's because they've been blanched, which means they haven't been able to see the sunlight, so they haven't turned green. It doesn't really have a lot of moisture. It feels just waxy like the outside, and it doesn't have any smell. Let's take a bite of a Brussels sprout. They're pretty good. It's a little waxy, but I think if I peeled it leaf by leaf, it would be a delicious snack. Brussels sprouts can be cooked many ways. You can eat your vegetables raw, or they can be prepared. They can be pan-fried, they can be baked, or they can be put into soups. You'll get to see a great recipe today. So, where do Brussels sprouts come from? We know that we can find them in our grocery store, and we can also find them at the farmer's market. Normally, we'll see them at the farmer's markets in West Virginia in November, December, and January. But how do they grow? Brussels sprouts actually grow up a very tall stalk, and each small Brussels sprout almost forms a ladder that grows up a stalk. Let's explore some Brussels sprouts together. So, how do Brussels sprouts grow? Let's take a look. Brussels sprouts grow on farms and in gardens in West Virginia. Brussels sprouts start out as small plants, but soon become very big. Brussels sprout plants can get as tall as 2 to 3 feet with thick stems. The part of the plant that we eat actually grows off the sides of the stems, as you can see here. They look like tiny heads of cabbage. When we harvest Brussels sprouts, we chop the entire plant and remove the top leaves. When you go to the farmer's market, farm standard grocery store to select Brussels sprouts, you want to look for ones that are bright green in color. You can refrigerate Brussels sprouts for up to 1 week. To prepare them, rinse, slice off the base end, and remove the outer leaves. Brussels sprouts can be enjoyed raw, steamed, stir-fried, or roasted. Today for story time, we're reading Leaves by David Ezra Stein. It was his first year. Everything was going well. Until the first leaf fell. "Are you okay?" he wondered. Then A red one fell. A yellow one fell. All over his island, the leaves were falling. He tried to catch them and put them back on, but it was not the same. He sat beneath a tree and watched them go all around. But he grew sleepy, and so he found a hole and filled it with leaves. And went to sleep, just as the wind began to blow. Winter came. He slept snug in the ground while the snow piled thick. In the spring, with wide eyes, he woke. He felt the sun and saw the little buds on the bare arms of the tree. And the tiny leaves that had begun to unfold. "Welcome," he cried. And, he thought, the leaves welcomed him. The end.
Hi, my name's Noel. I'm a health educator with WVU's Family Nutrition Program, and today we're here at the Capitol Market so that we can make some fruit-infused water. We're gonna go grocery shopping and pick up some fresh ingredients, see if they have everything we need to make apple cinnamon water and watermelon rosemary water. So here we are in the F&P kitchen, and we're going to make some apple and cinnamon water and some watermelon and rosemary water. I picked Honeycrisp apples just because I know they're super sweet. You can pick any kind of apple you prefer, and I'm just going to cut it up. There's no specific way to cut it up. You cut it up however you like. I'm going to cut mine in half first and then put the flat side down. That way it doesn't roll anywhere on me. And then I'm just going to cut it into slices. Don't have to worry about the seeds because we're not actually going to eat the apple. It's just going to go in the water. So you probably already know that you're supposed to drink 8 glasses of water a day, right? But how do you do that without feeling like you're punishing yourself? Well, one of the ways you can do that is by making fruit-infused water. It's fruit, not fruit juice, but water with fruit and herbs in it that give it a little extra flavor, so that it's not so much of a chore to eat or drink. All right, so my apples are all cut up. So I'm gonna put them in this pitcher. And then I'm going to throw in 2 cinnamon sticks. 1 cinnamon stick for every gallon of water that I'm doing. If you don't have cinnamon sticks and you want to use ground cinnamon, it's 1 cinnamon stick equals a half a teaspoon. So this one is done, and ideally we will let this sit in the fridge for a while, even overnight. And it'll be some yummy apple and cinnamon infused water. For this one, we're gonna make watermelon and rosemary. I've already chopped up the watermelon so you don't have to watch me struggle to cut that big old thing. And I'm just gonna put these pieces in here. And if you don't have one of these fancy water dispensers, don't worry about it. You can make this in any pitcher you've got. There's a watermelon. And then I've got a couple of sprigs of rosemary. Doesn't matter quite how much on this. You just throw in a couple of sprigs and you're good to go. Again, let it sit for a little bit or even overnight to get the full flavor. And there we have 2 yummy waters. The great thing about fruit infused water is you can use any recipe you can make up. Whatever kinds of fruits you like, strawberry and blueberries, throw them in there. Apples and oranges, sure, why not? Bananas, maybe. Give it a try, let us know what you think. We even have somebody here at the office who likes pineapple and jalapeno. Give it your best combination and let us know what you come up with.
In order for your body to stay healthy, you have to keep moving. Get 60 minutes of exercise every day. Miss Shannon has a fun activity for us to try. Let's go check it out.
Hi everybody, Miss Shannon here, and for today's physical activity, we're going to be doing Playtime with Dinosaurs. You're going to pretend to be lots of different dinosaurs, and for each different dinosaur, you're going to do a different physical activity. Okay friends, our first dinosaur is a velociraptor, so we're going to do a velociraptor run. Run as fast as you can in place. Okay friends, our next dinosaur is a pterodactyl. We're going to be doing the pterodactyl takeoff. You're going to put your arms out, spin them as fast as you can, and see if you can jump as high as you can at the same time. Okay friends, our next dinosaur is a brachiosaurus. So we're going to do the brachiosaurus stretch. Stand up on your tippy toes, raise your arms to the sky, and see how high you can stretch. Climb on up there. Okay friends, our next dinosaur is a stegosaurus. We're going to do the stegosaurus prance. You're going to jump left and right while crossing your legs at the same time. Okay friends, our next exercise is a spinosaurus. So we're going to do the spinosaurus stretch. You're going to stretch out to one side, one leg behind the other, and stick your arm out. And stretch ahead of you. Great job. Now we're going to do the other side. Okay friends, our last dinosaur is a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So what we're going to do is we're going to tuck our elbows back, make some claws, and run in place really fast. Faster! Thanks friends for joining us on our physical activity. I hope you like Dinosaur Playtime.
Let's go visit Molly in the kitchen and learn how to make Brussels sprout chips.
Hi, I'm Molly with West Virginia University Extension Family Nutrition Program, and today we're going to make Brussels sprout chips. Before we get started, it's always a good idea to wash your hands and clean your cooking surface. I've already done that, so I'm ready to get cooking. I've already washed my Brussels sprouts under running water and prepared some of them, but I'm going to show you how I did that. So Brussels sprouts are like little mini cabbages. They've got lots of very tight leaves in there. So to release these leaves, we are going to cut off the bottom, and that is going to kind of release some of those outer leaves. See how they just fell away? So we are going to let those outer leaves fall and then kind of coax the other ones off a little bit, but we don't want to go too deep and get tough pieces. So I know you've heard of kale chips, and this is the new kale chip. So I've got my 15 Brussels sprouts all separated, all their leaves separated, and I'm going to add a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, about a tablespoon of Parmesan cheese, and then salt and pepper to taste. And then here comes a job good for the kids. We are going to get in here and make sure all of these leaves are coated with the olive oil, Parmesan cheese, and the salt and pepper. I've got my Brussels sprout leaves all coated, and I'm going to lay them in a single layer on my baking sheet. While I was tossing them, they want to cup together, and you want to make sure that they are individual leaves that you're putting on your roasting sheet. So I've got my Brussels sprouts all laid out on my parchment-lined baking sheets, and I'm going to put them in a 350-degree oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now, the reason there is such a variation of time is because everybody's oven cooks differently. I think after about 5 minutes, I'm going to put the tray that's on the bottom on the top and the one on the top on the bottom. If you notice some Brussels sprouts are browning faster than others, remove those leaves or chips and put the tray back in to continue cooking for 1 or 2 more minutes. You don't want the entire chip to get brown and toasty because then it will become bitter. I just pulled our Brussels sprout chips out of the oven. They were in for about 10 minutes, and I put the tray from the bottom to the top and the tray from the top to the bottom after about 5 minutes to make sure they were all evenly browned, and you can hear how crispy they are. Okay, just like a potato chip, I'm gonna just pick it up, pop it in. It is crunchy and delicious. I really hope you give these Brussels sprout chips a try. Check out our website for the complete recipe and subscribe to our YouTube channel to see all sorts of uploaded videos. Thanks for stopping by the kitchen today, and I hope you give the Brussels sprout chips a try. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us today on Learn, Grow, Eat, Go. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for joining us for another week of Energy Express programming. We'll be right back here on Monday morning, and we hope you will too. We'll see you then.
I'm Donnie Tenney with Appalachian Acres. Actually, we have the largest microgreen operation in Tolmansville, West Virginia. And actually, we're the only microgreens grower in Tolmansville. So I started looking at the YouTubes on microgreens. I don't know how that popped up. How to make $1 million in microgreens. Well, I knew right off that wasn't going to work in West Virginia, but I tried some, and and they sold pretty good. This is radish. We have sunflower. This is the #1 microgreen, is sunflower, because it has a sweet, crunchy, a nice taste. Now you can grow them in the greenhouse, and I have before. The reason, you know, in the wintertime I grow in here because I can control the environment better. I've got heat in here and you got lights. With the sunflower, what we do, we use these thin trays which use about half as much soil as your conventional tray, and that's really all they need. So then when we plant the sunflower, we go ahead and plant the radish, and then they mature at the same time. And then we stack them, and then we put some weight on top of them. And the reason for doing that is to force the roots down into the ground, into the soil, or the medium. You can see the roots. Then we cover them to make them stretch. You know, in 7, 10, 12 days, you're ready to harvest them. So you can use scissors. The problem with scissors, it kind of bruises the stems because you're cutting from both sides. But this knife, it's a stainless steel knife, and I keep it real sharp. People mix them in with their salads. I think that's what I encourage. Some of the people at the farmer's market would just buy a bag of them and just start eating them, just munching on them, you know. Or like I say, I like to take, especially the sunflower, if I'm making a sandwich, then instead of putting lettuce on, I just put a layer of sunflower, and it gives you a nice flavor, sweet flavor with it. I mean, it's rare that something tastes good and it's good for you. You know, that's a real jewel to find. You know, it's kind of neat. You can find anything on YouTube. I don't care what it is. If it's fixing a faucet to overhauling a car engine, you can find it on YouTube.
We are in Gap Mills, West Virginia at Sweet Springs Valley Water Company. I am Mabel Cox, manager of the facility. Local people decided that they were going to try to see how bottled water would sell. It was a small office to start with just a couple people working in it. A lot of people thought that they were crazy for starting a bottled water business, like when you can get your tap water. We are only strictly spring water. The only thing that I can really tell you about this spring, it is located in Peters Mountain. It is owned by a local man, just lives up the road here. Once it gets into the facility, it goes through a filtering system, which is 6 1-micron filters that takes all of the bacteria out. In case there is anything missed in that, it goes through the UV light. Then it is ran through an ozonator, and the ozonator it will kill any bacteria that is in the water at all. Our water testing is done daily in-house, and then it is sent out weekly to a state-certified lab in Beckley. Mainly they are checking for E. coli, but we have never, in the 30 years that they've been here, there has never been a hit on our product water. Once it goes through that ozonator, we bottle it. All of the bottles will be ran through a wash and rinse cycle, and then after that, the water will go into the 5-gallon bottles. There is a little cap that fits on top of it. That cap is also sprayed with ozonated water. Once they're capped, they come out into the warehouse on a conveyor. Then our production worker will either put them in our racks for our trucks or our pallets. They will load their trucks every morning, take it to either the home resident delivery or business delivery. So we are going to possibly in the real near future start selling canned water with our label on it. This is already in a few of our local stores. We are just hoping that we can get our label on it. We feel like down the road in the future that they will be getting rid of like the small plastic bottles just because of the environment. This will be more environmental friendly, because all of this is recyclable. This is the only water that I drink. And maybe just because I'm a little bit partial to this water, but yes, like, I shouldn't name any names, but and a few others, I feel like it kind of tastes like the bottle maybe. And with this water, I really don't even really taste anything but our water.